Well, hell. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's me, Jack Spade, and tonight I have a game of D&D. After 2 weeks, it has been excruciatingly too long of a wait for me personally. I was getting the shakes. But we survived. We're going to be playing tonight. So yeah, tonight we'll be playing some more 5th edition Tyranny of Dragons. So yeah, we're going to be doing that. Other than the dry spell of D&D, everything else has been pretty all right, pretty cool. Can't complain really. Oh man, crazy stuff going on out there in the world, and I'm so glad that we can come together and play a game, maybe help take your mind off of everything, whatever you're going through. That's the aim of this little program that we're doing here tonight. So, with that, let me just go ahead and let them know that I'm about to unmute. And we'll get it going. I'm just going to get some music going first.
I think.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
How's everybody doing
Hey,
tonight?
Excited for the session.
Excited.
So long.
It's been
Yes.
too long. Way too long.
Indeed.
I'm so glad everybody's here. Glad everyone had a good time away, getting stuff done, surviving disasters and such to their infrastructures, graduating, all that good shit.
Yeah, getting their grades from an F to a D on the last day.
Surviving.
I love how the timing of the tree falling on the internet cables of my street and Marquise graduating aligned so badly.
I think it was like while I was at graduation, I checked Discord like afterwards, and then you were.
I was so angry about that. Oh my God. I'm so angry. But like, I can't do anything because the guy is dead, so unfortunate.
It is unfortunate that guy is dead.
There's a lot you can do.
But so is life, so is life.
Hold up. I gotta fix something before we get rocking and rolling. Apologies for the delay. I just realized that I haven't swapped somebody's Fugi on the stream yet, so bear with me. All right.
So Eric, Kyo is 100% going to remember the deal.
Yeah, I figured when you make a deal with Kyo, that's like a deal for life. She never forgets.
It's basically the same thing as making a deal with a patron.
Holy.
Yeah,
Who is this guy?
Dravna is fully aware with that kind of stuff, so he's okay with making deals with Kyo.
Who is this sexy man where Naomi should be?
That would be Saren's character from the King of the Lost Arch mini adventure.
What happened?
They beat it. They finished it.
Oh, you mean in the three chats?
Yeah. Here it is. Smug Fox.
Smug Fox.
Wait, where is this image?
It's gone.
In the Twitch. Now it's gone.
It's gone.
Also, I see Jack changed the avatar. Nice.
Yeah.
Also, I have to get a new tank. 1 second.
All right.
Oh, hey, it's Zoro from Vendetta.
What? Oh. So this is my Dungeon Master costume, and then this is my my regular like stream costume.
Ooh, fancy.
So I did
Why are you jelly, bro?
I did a little bit I did a little bit of upgrading to my brand. My brand.
Oh god, you look so your appearance looks so smug when you have the cowboy outfit and you speak. You get the
Exactly.
smirk.
Smug cowboy. It's kind of my brand.
Fair enough. All
All
right, our
right.
partner.
All right. I know Saren is busy doing outdoor things, finishing up some last minute things, but everyone else is good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
let's go.
So let's rockin' and rollin'. Before I do a recap, actually, I'll just go ahead and do it now. So last time, the last thing you guys did was you finished facing down a mother displacer beast with her kittens. They had been ambushed by a group of goblins that you saw traces of all around your camp, but luckily they did not find you in the night. But during the course of your adventures for the day, you came upon them as they were beginning to encroach on this small, tiny, furry family. Having killed all the goblins with spells and good tactics, suffering minor injuries, you allowed the Displacer Beast mother to escape to be somebody else's problem. Perhaps after she is done raising her family and returning to the Wood of Sharp Teeth, where she most likely came from. And I believe your plan is to continue on to Bird Dusk and then take the road, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And to also everyone that's watching, or to anyone that didn't read the chat, during the RP moments in the RP text chat, something really important happened. Zazet, Dravna, and Naomi actually managed to get into conversation without any blows coming to happen.
Lots of interesting stuff
Yes.
is going on in the RP channel and the server. It's a good time for sure.
Yes.
Marquise
Anyway.
is just depressed, staring into the woods. That's what he's been doing.
If that's the case, Dravo's got to have a talk with him.
Enough with all of this brevity and happy shit, because I'm going to now do something that is heartbreaking, and I will not apologize
Okay.
for it. So
Roll for initiative. Let's go. Yeah.
what you all do not see, but we all see as a audience. Our vision immediately rockets away from the party as they begin to clean up the goblins' corpses, and just watching the Displacer Beast mother run off in the distance with her kittens. We rocket away from them into the sky as we follow the road to some other part of the Sword Coast. And our vision lands on a young man who's traveling with a heavy pack on his back. He has been traveling for quite a long time. We can see that he has quite a bit of wear and tear on his clothes. The mud is beginning to cake. But despite the heavy pack and the long miles and this dangling large Pelorian sun dangling from his neck, he smiles. The air is crisp, perfect traveling weather, and tonight will bring more fond memories around a campfire, meeting fellow travelers, swapping stories about their trials and tribulations on the road. There's a sudden rough gust and pushes his brown hair into his face, tickling his nose. His smile only deepens, and then his eyes go wide in shock at the dagger in his chest. The sun is ripped from his chest by a crimson clawed hand and crushed before being tossed at the ground before a tall man with intricate blue tattoos on his bald head. A red-scaled half-dragon flicks the blood off his blade before smiling with a grunt. The bald man says, "Was that entirely necessary?" "No, that was just for shits and giggles." A kobold scuttles about the tall man's knees and picks up the crunched sun. "Another one for the collection, my lord," it says before opening a chest and tosses it into a bloody pile of bent and bloody holy symbols. And now we rejoin the party as they continue on towards Bird Dusk. What would you like to do?
After we manage our investigation, the goblin bodies, Kia would move towards her horse, gently patting it first before climbing on top. She adjusts the bandage on her left hand before looking back at the others. Ah, is everyone alright? I think we should go, continue our travels. For dusk shouldn't be that far away from here. I hope we are able to reach it before the sun sets.
We should be able to as long as nothing else slows us down. Let's not burn any more daylight. Drabno just grunts and he'll get on his horse, just wiping off a little bit of blood, but he doesn't care about the dirt.
What was the name of everyone's horses again?
Name of the right, everyone's horse names. I forgot about that.
Mine was Buttermilk.
Buttermilk, right?
Kia's was chocolate milk.
Drabno's is just milk. Just milk.
Just
He
milk?
refuses to
original.
acknowledge any other name.
He is the original milk.
Justin Milk. Got it.
Just the milk.
Justin.
Naomi's is strawberry milk.
Yeah, that's right. Had to go with something red, but had to be pink.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I don't know.
You begin.
Yeah, mine's sour milk. Yeah. I remember making a joke about naming draft and stuff, but that could
Sour
just be mine.
cream.
Yeah, if I was thinking about it at the time, Drabno would be like, "No, that is not my horse. That is your horse. We're leaving."
Yeah, mine's sour milk.
Just the Uno reverse card.
Incredible. Okay.
You.
You head on further to Burdusk. And you reach Burdusk without any issues going forward. And it's a rather calm place. You can see that there are some people who appear to be not from there. You can see that there are some people that are kind of overcrowding one of the local inns for the road, like a roadside inn here in Burdusk. And you realize, without too much effort, that these are people who were forced out of their homes because of the raids of the dragon cultists ransacking their villages and homesteads.
Has Kia been to Burdusk before? I imagine so, correct?
Yeah, I'd say you probably visited once or twice, especially when you were younger, with your grandfather.
Kyo, she looks at the site, very sad expression on her face while they move forward. What horrible thing this is. Can't believe there's so many that were displaced. Though I suppose I should have expected that, considering the ruins. Gian, would Kyo know any good place in Burdusk that would be good for them to stay, like a popular tavern or the like?
You could sleep in Burdusk if you really wanted to. It's only about late afternoon when you arrive here. You can continue on for a little bit longer if you would like, or if you want to just get an extra early start for your day for tomorrow, you can. But there is I'll say that there's a small roadside inn that's not too crowded. You guys can crash in. It'll only cost you 1 silver piece for everybody to board there, but you'll all have to share a room.
Right? As Pia remembers, she looks back at the others. There is a decent enough inn here at Burdusk. Nothing too fancy, but it's decent, it's nice. What's the call of all of you? Do you all want to take a stop, take a look, maybe gather more supplies or such, or do all of you prefer to just hit the road? I won't deny that part of me would want to stay a bit, not for a day, but just take a look and see if anyone needs any aid or the like we can give. But
I'll also
I-
tack on that if you do decide to stay at an inn here, that you won't have to spend any rations unless you just choose to not take the inn's food.
right? But I also know and understand completely the urgency of our mission. So, because if you're so conflicted, I would like to ask the opinion of everyone. Zazet, Ravna, Marquise, Naomi, what is your thoughts?
I'll be blunt. As much as I've been sweetening my rations and adding peppers to it, I would like a warm meal from a tavern. And he just sighs while saying that.
Haven't we been traveling for like 1 day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 days
Drabna
total.
Drabna really hates rations.
Fair,
I
fair.
did not expect you to. Kyo looks at
You
Ravna
actually
and Jai.
Go
No,
on.
you go.
Go on.
No, you go. You go.
All right. You can see Naomi is just shaking her head vigorously behind Drabna, just animating at the animating at the ration, and she's pissed, you can tell that her rich girl is coming out.
Listen, I know it's only been a day, but I'm a traveling paladin. Why do you think I stayed in Greenness for so long? And he pauses. The food that made me want to stay. And he just kind of like
What
looks
is-
off to the side.
I'm very confused what being a paladin has anything to do with your delicate sensibilities.
Zazit, does being a paladin turn you to a demon too?
No, it's actually the exact opposite.
Marquise, you have been rewarded 1 glare from Javna.
Kyo just laughs
I give
at
a
me.
little wink back.
If we are taking votes, which it sounds like we are, I would recommend staying the course. Only because we've been traveling for 1 day. If your bottoms hurt from riding in the saddle after 1 day, feel free to mention that now and I'll take it into account if the vote comes to a tie.
I think
Alright.
for me, I think we also continue ahead because I don't know, seeing all these people, the dragon cult is just gonna keep doing this. I mean, I know they're trying to move in silence now, but I say we try to band together Elturel to deal with this issue first.
Sounds smart. Naomi, up to you. Why do you vote? Do you vote to tie and leave the last vote to me? Or do you agree to move on?
Now, it's true that Naomi didn't actually make a vote in regard to whether or not we should stop, but in no uncertain terms does she want to continue eating these snacks right now. She wants something juicy,
So Naomi's vote is to
and if she
stay.
can get it here. Yeah,
Okay.
100%.
Okay, so I
Um,
guess I am the one to decide. Ravna, Naomi, question. Would you two be alright if we continue, but we just grab some food from the tavern?
Could do.
Would that be
Naomi
enough?
What is this concept of taking away food that you were mentioning about? I've never heard of it before.
You never? Me and my grandfather, when I have to go alone with the other farmers, sometimes we stop by a city, only briefly, to resupply and the like. And what we do sometimes is we buy extra foods from the taverns and such. We, of course, not anything that perishes quickly or anything messy, such as soup. And we just bring them fast from the go. And we eat when we camp. The
That is
downside,
borderline heretical, what you're mentioning right now.
your your deity doesn't let you eat food on the road?
The concept of taking an entire meal with you and then eating it while you do other things seems very strange. The idea, the
What
concept of
else
a
are we
meal.
doing? We're gonna be on horseback. I mean,
It's not. You don't eat during the horseback. You eat when you make camp. When you stop. Here,
no,
let me show you.
that was my point. That it's like, I mean, food doesn't go that bad that quick. I mean, we could have a meal for tonight if you guys want to.
Zazit, the paladin of anti-consumerism.
Okay.
If you are riding on horseback in a party, the concept is that you are alert. Feasting while you're doing that only seems to hinder the act of being alert.
No, you don't eat while you're on the horseback. Eat when you're at camp.
Or
Okay,
hear me out.
so
We
then-
just spend an hour at the tavern eating, then we leave.
Yeah, let's have a little.
And-
Is that too
dinner.
complicated?
Okay.
That's.
But it is not mealtime, is it?
I mean.
It's
not probably-
lunchtime,
Yeah, I'd say it's
Well-
just afternoon. So yeah, you could probably stand to eat.
but I want to stop at the shop first. I want to.
Oh, there's nothing here. There's
Oh,
nothing here.
Nothing here.
There's
Yeah,
no
whatever,
weapon.
isn't-
There's no weapon shops. There's hardly even any tools for sale. There's nothing here in Burdusk.
What about
Actually-
rations?
Yeah, you could probably buy some rations from the inn. Sure.
Okay, yeah.
Let us go. Let me guide you
bowl
to
of
the-
soup do you?
Let me take you out to the inn. Follow me. And Kyo guides her horse ahead to guide them towards the tavern.
I just thought of a really funny joke. I'm sorry, adventurer, you cannot handle my strongest soups.
They are flavorful and full of meat.
Oh, when they arrive at the tavern, Kyo look at the group. Here's a place. before we-
Marquisus.
Sorry.
You go.
Wanted to add to that joke.
Okay.
Yes, potion seller. Just like your mother.
You cannot handle my strongest soups, warrior. They are too much for you.
You make your way to the inn, and thanks to Kyo's guidance, and you do find a very kindly innkeeper who very eagerly will serve you any amount of soup that you require to take on the road with you or to eat here. Up to you. Each serving will cost a copper each.
As she's serving us soup, I asked the innkeeper, excuse me, innkeeper, I have a question regarding your ability to take this soup on the go and eat it on horseback. Have you ever heard of such a thing? Do you have any sort of container or some sort of vessel to carry the soup in that would be
Yeah, well, we did know it was
consumable
soup.
on the horseback?
She
Didn't know it was
nods.
soup.
She nods and she says,
Well, hang on.
she nods and she says, "Aye, well, if you happen to have your mess kit, you can see that it actually it forms like a kind of canteen of sorts, just without a stopper for
Mhm.
drinking. So you could store some soup in your canteen and your mess kit all put together."
I also have this wine flask. Are you suggesting that you're going to put hot soup in my wine flask?
Aye, I could if you'd like it. That wouldn't be the strangest request I've ever called.
No, I would not. I would not like it. In fact, it would be the opposite of what I. And I turned to the finance like, this is what you had in mind when we took off heat from the road and we came here and we had soup.
Kyo smiles.
That's it.
Now
Not
you shit
really, but-
her head, and she just starts.
The soup is lovely, by the way. I don't mean any harm.
So,
Simply saying that we have other things that need to be done rather than eating soup.
however much soup you eat or choose to take with you, mark off a copper each.
Jack, I just noticed a problem. I forgot to add the goats we got from the goblins. I remember we got some silver or copper.
I do not remember those totals off the top of my head. I did not write them down.
I'm
I
going
thought
to
there
just-
was like a. Wasn't there like some page that has like loot on
Yeah,
it? or
there's
something?
Oh
like
yeah,
a
that's
group
true. It's in the journal.
inventory.
Yeah, it should be in the journal actually. Now that I'm thinking
How
about
to
it.
access the journal.
Yeah, the party loot journal. Yeah, 15 gold, 3 silver.
Right? I'll say Kyo just took your silver, and she's going to use like
Okay.
silvers and copper. She's going to use like 3
One-
coppers.
1 silver will get you 5 servings of soup.
Okay.
Maybe
Um,
if you like put the soup inside of the bread and let the bread harden with the soup inside of it, it would like be eating soup flavored bread. I could see that being a thing.
I think
maybe.
your dragon tongue works differently. That sounds gross.
Oh,
Do
actually,
not
I have
mention my tongue in front of me ever again, please.
Yes,
This just
sir.
reminded me of one
Marquis
thing,
salutes.
actually. Kyo turns to the innkeeper. Excuse me. Me and my companions, we are headed to Elturel. Would there be any sort of message or the like that anyone from Verdisk would want us to deliver to there?
She looks thoughtful for a second. So you're offering to take a letter to Elturel?
Yeah, letter, requests or the like. We're on the way.
She thinks for a second and she says, well, unfortunately, we don't really get much requests going that direction. Everybody's family is it's down here or around Green Nest in the green fields, you see. So no, unfortunately, I don't have any requests at the moment, but thank you for asking, dearie.
Is there
Oh,
potentially maybe even any refugees that need help getting to Elturel? You can maybe take one or two with us.
we don't really can't afford that, unfortunately.
Yes.
She
It would.
she solemnly just kind of shakes her head and says, "No, I'm afraid not. Though they might appear to be down in the dumps now, I think the consensus is that they're just going to get back out there in the green fields and give it another try."
Oh,
Oh,
if they want to, Greenlands also was attacked, but we managed to stand firm at the end. We would appreciate any sort of help if any of them would want to come towards our dear village.
I'll pass along the word and let them know that Green Nest got some vacancies.
In fact, here, Kyo picks up a small piece of paper and writes on it, basically writing, Mayor, these are refugees from the places were attacked by the dragon coach. If possible, if you could, please help them wherever way you can. If anyone needs to, please, and besides you go to Green Nest, tell them to deliver this to Governor Nighthill.
Very well. She kind of looks at you a little strangely, but takes it.
Thank you.
um,
Um,
on the walk to the tavern, Marquise is looking around.
Uh-huh.
Is there how diverse was like the people from the village? Like, are they all from of different lineage or?
You see various colors of skin. Some people are obviously more well suited to outdoor work. You can see a lot of tan people with farmers' tans and stuff like that, but you don't really
Mostly humans.
see much outside of humans, though.
Interesting. All right.
oh,
Marquise kind of thinks bats on Kyo's grandpa.
it's nothing up, Marquise. You're looking at me funny.
Is your grandpa by blood?
Yes?
So
And not adopted, that's what you're asking.
no, well, it wasn't it. Just curious. Are you um maybe sort of like me then? Because your grandpa was. So
I don't fully understand. A warrior?
Actually, me
Yeah.
neither. I'm very confused by this conversation.
He's asking if you're draconic, Kyo.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Seen any draconic traits pop up or?
We're just people. Friends. That's
Kyo,
all.
your audio got really low for me. I don't know if it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
same.
Yeah.
Testing, better?
Yes.
You're good.
Yes.
Okay, Kyo looks at Marquis confused. No. Me and my father are just normal humans. Just farmers, really.
All right.
Well, if I breathe fire or something of the like, I promise you'll be the first one I tell you.
Marquise,
All right.
now that
Thank you,
you're
Kia.
looking, now that you're looking around and kind of comparing, Kyo's features and stuff like that are actually not common here amongst the people. And now that you're thinking about the people in Green Nest, her and her grandfather stick out like sore thumbs.
Was your grandfather born in Green Nest by chance, Kyo?
Oh, no, not at all. Grandpa moved to Green Nest, actually. He moved him alongside my grandmother and my mom and my father.
From where, if you don't mind me asking?
Um, long story, if that's okay with you.
No worries.
The short of it is from somewhere bad, basically. And if at all possible, I prefer if you didn't talk too much about it with my grandfather on the topic. In any
Yeah.
case, everyone good with the soup? Shall we continue the road?
Drabna drops his spoon into the bowl. I am satisfied. He just like leans up, looking at the ceiling.
Did that actually really satisfy you? Like a single bowl of soup was enough to satisfy you?
Yes. I'm a man
Last
of
time I
Ah.
saw you, you had a demonic entity living inside of you, and a bowl of soup is enough to satisfy you.
I
He'll
mean, it was a
slowly
good.
lower his head and just glare at you.
It was a good bowl of soup, though.
Of demonic proportions, apparently. Didn't even have potatoes in it.
You know, Zazet, some thoughts are better kept to yourself. Just mind that. And
This reminds
without
me.
even saying anything, Drabna will like push himself out of the table and begin to leave the tavern.
Didn't even thank our patron.
Marquise will,
Unbelievable.
Marquise will leave 2 copper pieces and quickly join him.
Hey, big spender.
Give him a little pat on the back while we walk out.
Okay.
Right then,
It's all right, buddy. Happens
all
to the
right,
best of us.
that's it. I'm sure that it's fine. Shall we continue then? Let us go. And she gets up while holding the door for Zazet and Naomi to also continue for them.
You exit the inn and into Burdusk proper. You can see that there are some people who just kind of are staring off into space, clearly traumatized by past events, but none of them appear to be in the worst shape you've ever seen. In fact, some of them appear to be even better off than some of the victims in Green Nest. So at least you can take heart in that. And then you begin to exit out of Burdusk. Because you guys are traveling the road, that means that you guys will be not getting any random encounters for this bit of the trip, at least. So let's see. You'll be able to travel one more square about halfway through the next square before night begins to fall. Is there anything you guys would like to talk about as you are camping for the night?
I actually forget, just out of character, was our plans to go through Skirnoble or like take a detour and just go diagonally to Elturel?
Scornable. The idea was that from Burdusk we would follow the road. It's just
Okay,
that that way we wouldn't have to go through this really
Yeah.
triangular road to Burdusk because that would
Okay.
add a lot of time instead
Sounds
of
good.
just
To go like past bird dust to just like come back to it to follow the trail.
Also,
Okay.
there's big rivers in the way too, so
yeah, exactly. Burdusk has a place we can go to cross the river. Elturel doesn't seem to have that.
All right,
So
yeah,
it's,
that was good.
As you begin to bed down, anyone have anything they want to bring up to the group or anything like that, or y'all want to skip to the next day?
there is something Kyo would want to bring up actually. Kyo look at the others and say, well, first, who would want to stay on the first watch? The roads are safer, but always good to pay attention to the risks. Shall we do like the last time?
Yeah,
very
I'd like
well.
to take the morning watch again, see if I get any creatures lurking around.
you want to, I can be the one on the hunt this time.
Yeah, you might do a little better than me, sure. But you're not gonna. What are you gonna hog tie them and bring them back?
I'm a farmer. I hunt for food. I know how to. I kill animals for food. I just
Oh,
don't kill them without reason,
oh, okay.
or if you can at all avoid it.
Jamie flutters on your shoulder at the talk of killing things, and you can just hear in your mind the single word "take."
No, not right now,
These
Jamie.
broken wings.
If a bird could like scowl and like look dejected, this bird would.
Okay.
Who's Jamie looking at when he says take?
He's just looking up at Keo quizzically with one eye, just kind of like turning his head.
But well, for the first watch, I think last time was it Dravna or was it you, Zazet?
I can go first.
All right. The next, Naomi, do you want to be second?
I think Saren's still AFK for the moment.
Okay.
Okay.
Dravna can take the second watch.
All right then. Since Saren's FK, we can have Keo take third and Marquise take fourth in that case. What do you think, Marquise? Or do you want to take third?
No, I don't have night vision. I guess you don't either, but I'll
Jamie
take four.
has.
He said, "Sure, darling, why not?"
There we go.
All right then. All right, perfect then.
All right.
Wow.
So the
Alright,
same
so
way as
that's it.
before then?
Yep.
All right.
All right.
That's all, everyone.
Is there anything you guys would like to talk to each other about during watches? Because, like I said, pretty safe on the road. You're not really gonna find anything too interesting.
Mm,
Do you think gods enjoy soup?
Not all of them. Even Magna
Yeah.
would love soup.
Like in all honesty, like, do you think a god just sits down and is like, "Oh yeah, the soup was on and the soup is good."
I mean,
I just don't see a god enjoying soup.
I
Naomi
said,
squints for a moment as you speak, and she eyes you closely, Zazit, and then she says, "You know, I feel like I've heard a story once before of a mortal becoming a god. Is that not? I don't know too much about gods, but isn't that a thing?"
I mean, probably. Do you think he carried over his love of soup when he
I
was
think I
mortal?
would.
I think eventually time erodes all things, and eventually a man who's become a god will stop doing the things that made him a man. But at least at the very start, he might carry over the habit of enjoying a good chicken noodle soup.
I mean, there are some guys that I can see enjoying it. Like, I can see Imatra enjoying soup, or Helen is another god that I can see enjoying soup. But Lyanter, I can see that one enjoying soup, for example.
Hmm.
Whoever the
So
harvest
we're all
gods
in-
could be, probably
Yeah,
like
we're all in
foods.
agreement that gods live for a very long time, if they even have the concept of living to begin with. So does that mean they can cook a soup for eternity, and then it would be like a really good soup because it cooked for a very long time?
You know, there was once a tale. It was a fisherman's tale, so I don't really fully believe it. But when I went towards Candlekeep one time to sell some of the products of Green Nest, there was this fisherman that said that the ocean is actually a really big soup bowl.
Oh,
Of
that's
course,
disgusting.
it
Fish
is.
pee in the ocean. I don't want to
It
eat
is.
pea soup. Unless
But
it's
like,
actually pea soup. Because,
Is
maybe that would actually be pretty good.
Is pee really that dirty?
It's
it has
bodily
Not that
waste. I assume that it would be.
not that it's like my favorite beverage or anything, but I think
isn't that the reason why the ocean is salty and rivers aren't?
Marquise's burrows frown. Oh my god. Marquise's eyebrows kind of furrow at that. No, I don't. Is pee even inherently salty?
I can't say I've ever tasted
Naomi,
it.
Naomi
What kind of
scoffs
conversation is
and
this? We started with
shrugs.
soup.
I mean, I have because I was
That does not surprise me.
I was dehydrated at one point. I needed.
Everyone, I think it's time for us to get ready for our
I know.
travel.
I just want
You
to.
got
I just
that.
want to add. Dravna has been completely ill-tempered this whole time, and when you're all arguing, he'll just finally shout, "This conversation is completely asinine. I'm going to bed." And he's just gonna turn around and go off.
Naomi's just laughing the whole time.
Actually, Dravna, can I leave you with one final thought before you go to sleep?
Remember I talked about earlier? How about you practice that? And then he turns around.
All right, I will just say it and you can listen. Did you know that dogs evolved to have working eyebrows?
Jack?
Yeah.
Can Dravna choose not to take a long rest?
I don't want that. I don't want that nightmare.
I mean, I get my spells back in a short rest. I don't.
Sure,
Just the concept of like knowledge eternal keeping you
make
No,
a
Dravna does not trust the party after the pranks they pulled last night. That Dravna just
Oh,
wants
okay.
to idly just sit by himself, watching.
make a con save. Make a con save.
Okay.
You're only doing this con save because you really haven't been doing anything that's super stressful for your body. So we'll see if you incur a penalty of exhaustion. Yeah, you do. You gain 1 level of exhaustion.
Okay, totally fair. I'm willing to take that.
Interesting. Kia looks confused at those words, but she doesn't question further. She goes to sleep in the tent. Her sleeping robe.
Yeah. Yes,
That's-
dogs actually evolved eyebrows so that they could become closer to humans. If you actually know anything about wolves, the wolves, which are their ancestors, do not have any functioning eyebrows.
Hey, so about that, I don't really want to get too much into it, but
Yeah, it's very fascinating. Yes, I agree.
Naomi like hears you say this, and then for whatever reason you feel like she's looking back at something, and her face pales, and she realizes something dark and disturbing. She looks down at her hands, panic sets in, or her pupils are pinpricks for a few moments. She blinks a couple times, steadies herself, stares at Kyo.
Soup wasn't that
So Zazit,
good. Mm-hmm.
if a wolf and a dog had a
Yes,
baby,
I like where this is going. Yeah.
would they have eyebrows?
Well, which creature is the sire?
Okay.
Marquise is-
We'll say
Marquise
that this
is too dumb for that.
conversation
He
goes
just stares
on.
at you blankly.
We'll say this conversation goes on while you guys are on your watches together, as you decide whether or not dogs will be born with eyebrows if they mate with wolves. The next day comes along, and you hop back on your horses and head towards Scornabel. You arrive, I'll say, a day later. So let me move y'all's token up to Scornabel. Scornabel is a bit more livelier. It's at a crossroads, so you can see that there's a lot more traffic here. You can see that the people are a bit more upbeat. It's not like a metropolitan city in any stretch of the imagination, but it's definitely a bit more of like a marketplace than either Burdusk or even Green Nest. Is there anything you would like to do here?
Would there be any stories that sell weapons and the like around here?
Yeah, there's a couple of vendors who there's no blacksmiths here for like swords or anything like that. There's blacksmiths for like horseshoes and wagon repair, but there's no like weaponsmith here. But there are people who are selling them secondhand. If there's anything you would be interested to find.
Marquise, you said you wanted to look for weapons before, right? If you want to, you would have a better chance at Snorbow here than Burdusk. Though Elturel probably would still be your best bet if you want
Yeah,
something
we don't get our
fancy.
gold till Elturel, but I'm always looking for a better pole arm. So
If you want to take a look, does anyone else want to go for Marquise while he goes?
I wish to do one piece of shopping.
Sure, what is it? What do you want to grab? If I know the store, I can guide you.
Well, maybe if you don't mind, I would like to do this a little solo. If you know what I mean.
Oh,
I-
that's fine.
yes. Mm-hmm.
you wanna go to the market together at least? I had a question.
What do you mean? I wish to go to the marketplace, but I wish to do the perusing alone.
I was gonna say that. I had a question to ask you as if you
Oh,
wanted to
okay.
go
Yes,
to the
yes.
marketplace
Sure.
together.
We can
Yeah.
walk in
Walk
lockstep,
and talk,
as it were.
as one would say.
Mm-hmm.
Walk and
You had
talk, walk
questions
and
about
talk.
the dog, I understand.
Well, where that goes. Bravna, you look very tired. Do you want to go rest a bit? Want to do that?
I can rest later. I was planning. He's mumbling his words a little bit. His eyes slightly closed. I need to get some prayer ingredients and other stuff. He's scratching his head.
It's fine then. What about you, Naomi? Do you want to buy something or the like?
Nami puts the tips of her fingers together and squints. No, let's just talk and hang out. We can do whatever you want. I'll just follow.
That sounds fine by me. I will go to the tavern to see if anyone needs anything to deliver Elturel. Everyone, when you are done, let us meet here at Jack, what's the name of the closest tavern?
We'll say that the closest tavern is called the Bee and Barb.
Let us all meet together at the Bean Barb in
The
an hour or
peeing
so.
Bob? Oh, Jesus.
Okay then. Oh, also, it's important. If you have, for you folks to not get lost, does anyone want to have Jamie accompany them? So you have someone to guide you back to us in worst case scenario?
I cannot speak to the bird.
Yes, but the bird can understand you, actually.
I am also
don't
very
think-
tall. I can look above the crowd and see where I need to go.
I don't think
Fine.
Jamie likes me.
Don't be
I'll
like
take a
that,
guide.
sure.
Dravna, he slowly holds up his hand, a little embarrassed. I'll take the guide.
All right then. Jamie, please behave while with driving, okay? Make sure he stays safe and nice, okay?
Jamie does an 07 and hops aboard Dravna's head.
And then Kia goes to the inn. I think Naomi also goes too, right? So how are you going to do this, Yam? How are you going to split up the group?
Who would like to go first?
Follow me, Marquise. We have men things to do.
Yeah.
The two manly men stalk off into the crowd, into this little in this busy marketplace. What do you guys go looking for?
So you had a question for me?
Sorry, I just out of character. I just had a realization why 07 is it's like the head and then the arm is 7.
Yes.
Oh my god. I just thought it was like some pop culture reference that I was just
It
like,
is.
No, I know,
It
but
is.
but it makes sense. Like you could compute it outside of that. Oh man. Okay. All right. Back to Marquise. Back to Marquise. So Zazit, I think you mentioned growing up in the barracks.
Yes.
Of Netherwinter, yes.
Oh, a barracks within Neverwinter. They don't just have one barracks.
Well, yeah.
Specifically, I grew up in my lord's barracks. One of my lord's barracks. I guess that's not very specific. It doesn't help you very much in your question, but yes.
So you've, I mean, I don't know how were the
Hmm.
eh. Marquise's brows furrowed. Is like looking at a way to approach
Oh,
this. Um,
just out with it, man. What are you trying to say?
so like, how were the conditions? Like, what was asked of you? Were you in servitude, or are you still in servitude?
Naturally,
Seems,
of course.
dear Lord, yes. Um, I don't. I just think, well, because I'm from Waterdeep, and
Hmm.
well, as a son, I was a noble, but I sort of
As was I.
know. God, do I not know what bears mean? Jesus.
What?
No, I'm just thinking to myself. So you, why'd they have you in the barracks if you were a noble?
My parentage, they were stripped of their noble rank, and I was sold into servitude into my lord.
Oh,
I wasn't sold, it was part of the debt given over.
I see. So, but as real young, you had an spirit. You just had the normal noble lifestyle then, huh?
Well, as far back as I can remember, it was when I was around the age of 3, so I can't say I have much memory of it.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I just had some interest in Neverwinter as a whole because I also was a noble that grew to live in the barracks, but uh Marquise kind of
Hmm.
stares blankly. he's, he's a little ah guys, I'm having a really bad player moment right now. I'm sorry.
You okay?
So
You're chilling,
yeah,
bro.
no, I just locked out and now I'm confused.
Oh, okay.
Um,
As Marquise disassociates, we'll scoot on over to another group for a little bit. Who would like to go next?
Dravna can go. He has something he's just searching for, just a single thing. Would
Okay.
it be able for Would it be able for Dravna to get some holy water in this town?
Not likely. Go ahead and make a investigation check.
Okay, yeah. He was gonna like try and explore the town, like going from church to church, seeing
Sure.
if anyone had items.
Well,
or
there's not
stuff.
really a lot of churches or temples here.
Okay.
There's some shrines, but nothing that's really like watched over. I saw that 20 roll over. Unfortunately, you don't find anyone who could you think could connect you to some holy water.
Would Dravna be able to ask Jamie for help?
Jamie,
Sure. Roll again. We'll say you had advantage with this check.
Okay.
Yeah.
after asking for help, Jamie soars to the sky and tries to find something.
Of course. What else are familiars for? Oh,
Second
much
roll.
better.
14.
With a 14, you do see that there is a you see that there's someone stumbling out of a tavern, slightly tipsy, but you can see that he's wearing the vestments of a disciple of Paylor. And you can see he's looking around, kind of scratching himself and just kind of wandering away from you. But you see that it is someone who could potentially give you holy water.
I like to imagine as soon as Jamie noticed that, Jamie flies over to Dravna, grabs his the sleeves of his shirts, and just like kind of pulls him towards until Dravna sees the person.
I know what you want. All right, lead the way, little guy.
And the burp would lead Dravna all the way to the drunk person before looking at Dravna expectantly, waiting for something.
You can just hear him
Uh,
just kind of humming to himself, like a rhythmic kind of chant or hymn under his breath.
You there, good sir. I can't help but notice from your attire, but are you a priest or a clergyman of sorts?
Ah, who's asking?
Me. He points to himself. I'm asking.
You can see the man kind of like squints at you. You can see he's completely bald now, and you can see he's wearing these very plain looking robes. And he says, "What do you want?"
I was in the market for some alchemical ingredients. Do you happen to have any holy water on you, Sir Pella? Sir Clergyman Pella.
Make a charisma check
Sure.
or persuasion check. Make a persuasion check. Sorry.
Sure. That's something Travis should be good at, but not proficient, sadly. 17 though.
17. With a 17, he looks you up and down, and he can see he straightens up and says, all right, son. You can see he closes his eyes and tries to shake his head and sober up a little bit. He says, holy water, huh? All right. You got your canteen on you?
Hey, he holds it out.
All right, you got any vials on you? Because I'm not going to bless the whole thing.
I don't think Drown actually has any glass vials. He just has the canteen.
He kind of like rolls his eyes and just kind of, you can see him rolling his head. He says, all right, look, you go find me some vials. I'll only charge you a gold per vial. Otherwise, bugger off.
A gold? Oh my god.
Does
Bro, I
Drown know
just
if
pray
that's a
on
good
my own
deal or
shit.
not? I feel it's not a good deal. I thought like holy water was like a silver or something like that.
Up to you.
Can Dravna ponder that deal to know if he's being ripped off or not with like an insight check or anything?
I'll say that it's kind of up to you whether or not you would think that that's a good deal. I'll say that your time in Waterdeep, you've probably heard of temples requesting like a 15 to 20 gold donation per vial.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, Dravna will say to the man, I'll be back to fetch some glass vials. Will you happen to be here or elsewhere?
I'll be around wherever there's a tavern.
He nods. Well, I'll guide you then. I'll be right back. Dravna will seek out the market to see where he can buy some glass vials.
Okay. We'll say that you do that. And then as you're doing that, Naomi and Kyo, what are you two up to?
Kia would have gone inside the tavern, take a look, and sit down for a moment. Is the tavern full? Is it half empty? How is it right now?
I'll say it's not full, but it's definitely not empty.
Saying that, Kia thinks for a bit. How are the humors of the tavern, by the way? Are people excited? Are people downtrodden?
It seems pretty neutral. I mean, it's not sleepy by any sense of the by any stretch of the imagination, but it's definitely not like riled up. You know what I mean? It's not rowdy like a dive bar.
Mm-hmm. And fine like that, you sit down and look at Naomi and say, has been a while since we're just us two, Naomi. How are you doing?
Wait, what did you say? I didn't catch what you said.
Kyo says, it has been a while since we're just us two, Naomi. How are you doing? Are you holding up okay?
She's about to say something, and you can see that she makes the flirty face, and then she stopped herself. It has been a while, hasn't it? So much chaos. No?
Where
Day
there's
after
a lot.
day, really.
Has been much. I'm hopeful though that things are going to get better. We're almost at the Elturel. And so
She turns to you and like puts a hand on your cheek, and then she kind of looks at you and studies your face for a bit. She just asks, "Are you okay?"
You see Kyo put on a smile before she drops and shake her head. Not really, if I'm honest. I'm worried. Grandfather is supposed to be in Elturel, right?
Mhm.
Do you think he's okay? It's dumb,
That's-
I know, but
It's
I
not
don't know.
dumb. It isn't dumb to worry about somebody that you care about. That is never a thing you should think about. That is never a thing you should concern yourself about. What you should be thinking about is when you worry about someone, if they're okay or not, is if you're worrying too much and letting it get in the way of what you need to do. Because you still have to do things. Imagine you had to stay at home and your lover, whoever the hell it is, has gone to go to the fields to work. And they haven't been back for 3 days. You know they were supposed to be back in 3 days, but it's been a day and a half over. Then you start to worry. We know where he's going, we know what he can do, and we know what we need to do. Besides, Kyo, that man could probably take all of us out in a fight. And we're making it just fine.
They were my parents, and they aren't here anymore. Life isn't like that, and you know it.
Mm.
You can't just be just fine at the time. Just all it takes is a damn moment of bad luck.
Yes, and all it takes is a misstep going up or down the stairs, and you could break your teeth or break your neck. This we can't worry about things like that in that way. We can't. It'll break us. It'll destroy us. It's already destroyed me once. I'm not letting it happen again, and I'm not letting it happen to you.
Here we are, Chika and Naomi. Thank you. I'll try. It's just I have a bad feeling. Is all I guess.
I get it. But here is what I'll offer you, Kyo, as your dearest of friends. Whenever you're worried about something, you can talk to me and worry all you like. I'll handle the rest. If it's a word of courage or reassurance, fine. If I need to smite something, even though I'm certainly not a holy warrior, I'll figure it out and I'll do it. Just for you. Every time. This is just a part of you. You're worried. Everyone gets a little worried, everyone gets a little scared. And sometimes you are a little bit too squishy. And that's just you. It's not a part you need to get rid of, or wear away, or destroy, or hide. Not with me. Not while I'm alive. So don't.
As you are having this conversation, the camera pans to outside of the window just a little bit beyond your table. And we see a figure crouching in the shade between two buildings in the alleyway, watching this conversation go on. And then we're going to swap over to Marquise and Zazit once more. As you guys are having your conversation, is there anything you guys are looking to buy or find? Otherwise, continue on as you were.
Yeah, there is some. If you want to continue the conversation, because
Yeah.
if you know what you need to say, yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. Marquise kind of taking it all in, just sort of. He was like stuttering over his words a bit, but he looks you in the eyes and he says, Did your lord treat you well in the barracks?"
I mean, my lord is far too busy to handle all the children that come under his umbrella, I guess you could say. However, when I did manage to stand out from the flock, yes, I would say he treated me well.
It's I myself was we actually have a lot alike. I was a noble. Things happened. I joined a group, but I was just asking because recently I've been thinking back on my lord, if you will, and he I don't know. I'm having trouble making up my mind on if I made the right choice. So I just
Oh, you know what they
so
say,
sorry for
hindsight
using you
is
to
hindsight is 20/20, right?
yeah.
Look, all you need to worry about is what's ahead of you. Because what's behind you, well, there's no point going back there. You are who you are, etc., etc. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Well, I only ask because I don't think you've dealt with this side of me yet, but in many ways I see my lord as in the way I act, and I think I've treated the rest of our group pretty unfairly. So I was just thinking, oof, if back then I would, hmm, if you could choose between, if way back when, if you could choose between redeeming your family's honor or maybe that's not the way to put it. If you could choose between going after the one goal you wanted so much or staying a noble, living a life of comfort, luxury, which one do you think you'd choose?
Well, I think your justification of the word noble is a little different from mine. A noble is one that serves the people as opposed to lives in comfort. So, if you grew up living in comfort, I don't suspect you were a noble by the standard terms. So, a noble is supposed to be the one that bears the brunt for the peasantry. That's just how it works. Sure, yes, you get to have security, you get to have wealth and all that other stuff. The privilege. The privilege is not free. When a war happens, you're the front of it. When conflict arises, you bear the brunt of it. When plagues or famine or any sort of disaster happens to the population, it is your wealth that they rely on. That is what makes a noble. If your parentage was not that, then I'm afraid to say that they are not nobles that you should be looking up to.
Well, I'd like to think they took the brunt of it all, but I think
There
I think
shouldn't
they
be a
made
question in
some
your mind.
yeah, I think they made somewhat others do that. And I I think
Are you
maybe
the first
Waterdeep
son, second son, third son? Which one are you?
uh I had an older sister, but first well, I'm I'm not any anymore. No title like that matters now, but
But you were the first son, yes?
yes. Um
then a lot of the responsibility for what your parents have done should have fallen to you. If you chose to resolve yourself of their actions because they were irrespectable or whatever it is, because let's be real, I do not have the context, and you seem to be beating around the bush when it comes to sharing it, and that's fine. But just
Yeah.
know that if you removed yourself from that, if you gave up that privilege, then that is a decision you've made, and I'm sure you had your reasons for doing it. But if you stepped away because they do not share the noble ideal that is ingrained within society and how it makes society work, then you've done only a good thing.
Well, in honesty, looking back on it, I don't know how noble my family was, but I lived a life of luxury, and then they died, and I had a choice. I could stay with my uncle and auntie, or I can try to avenge them, try to make something of myself, but and and I chose that. I chose that choice, but it's sometimes I recently I've been wondering if they were even worth avenging, and so
Mm-hmm.
I don't I don't know. I've quite a bit to ponder, but
You
I
sound like the
do.
type of person that needs some sort of direction. Someone
Yeah.
that you need to have in your life that gives you a much greater view of things. Might I suggest coming into the employ of Lord Neverember?
I well, if the
It's
nobles
not a
do.
question of if, it's a question of how willing you are to participate. Heritage
um
aside, Neverember always looks to hire those who are
well,
seeking and, skilled. You seem to be quite skilled.
if
I'm sure you'll find a place if you try hard enough.
noble means to take the brunt of it, then it works a little different than Waterdeep. Um, so I actually I'll consider that offer because it sounds like you have a lot of pride in your lord, and I don't
Of
know. He
course.
sounds like a pretty great man.
He's the reason this entire region, this entire continent actually exists and moves the way it does.
Well, I'll take your offer into consideration, Sazit. Thank you.
Very well. Come with me when I go next to meet my lord, and I will flower you up as best I can.
Thanks, Sazit.
Now, the next thing you need to learn, if you wish to learn at all, but you are not to tell any of the party this. This is a secret that you and I will keep between ourselves, yes?
Yes.
Come with me into this shop. Well, I actually don't know if there's a shop here.
What are you looking
I will
for?
go to a random woman and I'm like, excuse me.
Yes.
I need assistance to find a shop.
Oh, what can I do for you, me lord? And she kind of bows, seeing your dress.
Please point me and my companion in the direction of the closest perfume shop.
Oh, certainly. She kind of like curtsies awkwardly. There's a cellar quite up the way there. It's not out of a shop proper like this one here, Lord, but it's a busker of sorts. Quite a bit of nice scents though.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very kindly. And I'll hand her a silver.
Oh, thank you, my lord. And she bows again and takes it and quickly scurries off.
All right, follow me. We have important items to purchase. But remember, not a word.
As you begin to head towards the scent cellar and perhaps the dubious business there, Dravna, You very easily and very quickly, thanks to Jamie's help, just kind of slapping you with his wings towards the direction you need to go. You find several vials for sale. You can buy 5 for a silver if you would like them.
Yes, that's actually the number that Jabna wanted to get was 5 vials.
Okay. You can buy 5 for 1 silver.
All right. As Dravna is walking away from the area where he bought the vials and headed back towards the tavern where he saw that clergyman Pello, he'll stop and look at Jamie and just quietly say, Jamie, don't tell the others this, but you're very reliable. I quite like you.
The bird just kind of like turns his head to fix a singular eye on you. It just kind of like tilts his head back and forth, but otherwise doesn't say anything or do anything.
Okay. That is the only compliment that Dravna is willing to expend on someone. He'll make his way back towards the tavern where he saw that clergyman.
Okay. You will find the clergyman on a bench not too far away. He's sitting in front of another tavern. It's much smaller than the one that he left. But you can see he's just kind of like leaned back, really, really relaxed, and just kind of just watching people come and go on the street.
Dravna will reappear himself in front of him and place 5 vials out in front of him on the floor, gesture out his hand. Pella's greetings. I have those vials for you.
Okay. About time. Been waiting around. Okay. So, he kind of claps his hands together. What I need you to do, before we conduct business, is go into this tavern and give me a pint.
And how will that
This is
help?
my kind of clergyman.
Yeah. Dravna just like kind of narrows his eyes and says, and how will that be... And he gives a false smile. How will that be assisting our endeavor here? Is that part of the ritual?
No, it's payment for my services. And he like looks at you like,
With the 5 gold on top?
okay. He rolls his eyes. You'll get a discount. Now go get it. He crosses his
Before I
arms.
continue, are there any other expenditures that I must be aware of before we continue?
No,
He's like,
no,
"Okay,
son. That's it. Now, my child, go and bring this cleric some beer.
Dravna will roll his eyes and without saying a word will head to the tavern to order a pint.
Okay. Very easily done. It costs you a silver to walk out with a pint. He excitedly takes it and just kind of slurps the foam off the top and goes, that's the stuff. All right. Rubs his hands together. You brought the vials, yes?
Yes, they were in front of you this entire time.
All right. Thank you. And give me your water skin. He reaches out. He picks up a vial and reaches for your water skin.
He'll give it.
Okay. Very well. And he begins to fill up these 5 vials with water. And as he does each vial, he begins to pray over them. And he finishes his work, stoppers each vial, and hands them to you along with your water skin back. And he says, all right, now hand over that gold. 5 gold, please.
1 second. Dravna will kneel down. Being a person with innate magic inside himself and also one who is trained to be an acolyte, can Dravna do any like checks to see if this is actual holy water, not just
make a religion check? Because he was doing this whole process in front of you, so you would be able to see it.
That's a 10 or a 12.
Okay, a 12. You think that there is a very high chance that this worked.
Okay, sure. Can you give the clergyman 1 gold to take 1 vial?
Oh, you only wanted 1 vial of holy water?
No. He wants all 5, but he just wants to pay for 1 up front first.
He'll kind of squint at you and say, "Where's my other 4 gold? What's the deal?"
Just
It's
check
either
your
a great
quality.
idea or a terrible idea.
No worries, sir. Just testing your quality.
Okay. He takes the gold and hands you a vial.
Okay. Using holy water as the ingredient, can I cast protection from good and evil on myself?
Oh, sure. It works. You mark
Okay.
up the spell slot, and you are able to cast the spell.
Okay. Drobna is satisfied. He'll say, "Thank you for your patience," and he'll give the man 4 extra gold for the other 4 vials.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Aye, likewise, another fake smile, and Drobna will turn around and make away with his vials of holy water.
All right.
See,
Which is
Dravna,
number 4.
part of me thought that you were gonna just like drink a sample of it and either start burning alive or nothing would happen.
I thought the same thing. I really thought the same
Yeah,
thing.
honestly.
Drobna is aware of what's afflicting him. He's not going to do that.
Yeah, this holy man might have freaked out if he saw you burning after you drank holy water.
Ah, yes, sparkly water, spicy like I remember.
Why is water so spicy?
As you walk away with your new shiny vials of holy water that you definitely don't intend to drink or won't be poisoned with later, DM plotting face. We shift back to Kyo and Naomi. Sorry, Paul and Kyo and Naomi. My brain.
Kia, after the talk, nods for a small sigh. Thank you. That was good to be able to talk to you. The same applies to you too, though, Naomi. You can always count on me. However, now we have a very important question and business to deal with.
Oh, yes?
I must ask you this, and it's a crucial question that I will really judge you based on your answer.
He leans in.
Fuck, marry, kill. Zazet, Marquise, and Ravana.
Jesus fucking
Oh,
Christ.
I can't believe you would do this. I cannot believe you would do this.
Wait, what'd you say?
Fuck, Mary, kill.
Okay. Oh my god!
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. She wears several expressions. They are all very, very interesting. You've seen most of them before. And one of them is the strong pondering. She puts a finger to her cheek and she like looks up.
At the time, Kyo is just satisfied because she already managed to reach her goal of actually surprising Naomi for once.
All of these men are absolute trouble. All of them.
But you must make a
Marquise,
choice.
Marquise has the problem of just not yet knowing where he is yet. I don't mind it. It's nice because then you kind of get to mold him a little bit, you know?
Oh Christ.
A little bit of control is nice with your men. A little bit. Subtle guiding. Zazit, brand new. Oh, God. His comedy is actually very good. I love to laugh. I love when a man can make me laugh. He makes me laugh a lot. Don't tell him I said that. I'll hit you. That being said, he's far too rigid. She thinks you know that she wants to make a joke about that, but she doesn't. Like she makes a face and like it slowly molds into like that titular kitsune smirk, and then she's no. Let's be mature here. Drabna is the most trouble. The most. I can't believe I'm saying this, but he is gorgeous. Unfortunately, isn't it always the most beautiful of us who cause all the trouble?
I mean, not really. You usually aren't the one causing the problem.
We smash cut to Dravna sneezing, and then go back to the tavern. Eric, if you want to give us a sound bite here,
What the?
jump back,
Goddamn allergies.
jump back to the girls.
Ooh. Uh, hmm. I literally cannot kill Zazit, so I can't kill Zazit. I cannot die. So we have to fuck Zazit.
All right.
Mm,
So who do you marry?
But then
And who do you
but then
kill?
I have to kill either Dravna or Marquise. I don't want to kill Marquise. But that's not how the game works. Someone has to die. uh, mm. Her smug face comes back and she looks at you. While I absolutely would love to marry Dravna, I have to kill him to marry Marquise because I can puppet him a little bit. She like twiddles her fingers like she's doing a little puppet show. Wouldn't it be cute? Put him in a suit and tie. I think it'd look good.
Maybe.
Was this all a ploy to surprise me, Kyo? You little vixen.
I mean, it's not always I get to see your flustered face, so yes.
You caught me off guard. Well done. Well done.
Thank you. I learned from the best.
Your flattery will get you nowhere. Well, except for here, and she like kind of brushes up against you and gives you the old nuzzle.
Oh,
He hugs her gently and says, "It's good to see you relaxed. You have been very stressed the past few days."
I lost a duel and could have died. You've been getting in trouble in all sorts of ways. We learned that your grandfather is quite dangerous in the worst possible way. I was nearly killed by a dragon, trying to pull its ire from everyone else. Being a hero. I know you won't blame me for my... What?
You are the hero of Greenhouse, after all. You even have a few fans, from what I remember.
Oh, please. Just a nuisance to most of them, and a business partner to the mayor, that's all.
You're right. You don't give yourself enough credit.
Hmm.
I don't say this lightly, Naomi. You're really important for us from Greenest. And if anyone has a problem with that, well, they have great taste. That's just the truth. But
Well,
have
that's entirely true.
exactly. But I have never really met anyone that has a problem with you. Yeah, save some of the moms, though I never understood why.
It's not my fault that their boys are horny and I'm gorgeous. It's not my fault. They can be upset if they want. It's fine.
I'm glad that I met you in Green Nest, and I'm glad you came with me. I had to have someone to keep myself on the leash, at least here. Also, I am 100% going to tell Hoshi you're planning on marrying him. Sorry, not Hoshi, Marquis.
Oh, stop it!
Oh, speaking of the devils, I imagine that would just be around the time that Dravna and the others will start coming back.
Maybe.
Travna would probably be coming in at this point, but we will now cut back to Zazit and Marquise. The two of you do happen upon a cellar of sorts. You can see that they're situated, literally selling out of the back of a wagon, a covered wagon. They have it set up as like a little miniature shop front. And you can see that there's an old lady in a rocking chair, and there's a younger gentleman standing with his hands behind his back, just greeting people as they walk by his tables in front of this cart. And he sees the two of you approach and says, "Whoa, whoa! How does the day find you, gentlemen? Is there anything that I can perhaps tempt you with?" And he gestures to these like bottles of what is obviously some kind of like perfume or something.
Hello. It is a pleasure to meet you, you and your babcha. I am in the market for a scent. A particular scent.
A man of discerning taste. I see. What can I help you with, sir?
Mm-hmm. Yes. I have a distinct problem. I wish to get rid of the scent of battle and road. And all too often, it's very annoying to find proper establishments that have the right, how can I say this? Instruments for cleaning a dragonborn. Bathing. So I need something that I can work in the meantime to cover up the stench.
Okay. Well, I have some of these options here. Is there a particular
Nothing
note?
floral. Nothing floral.
See, that's very important to distinguish because I was just about to show you something. But okay, so how dark is too dark?
What do you mean by dark? I like Zazet leans in, like interested in the way that he's phrasing the scent.
He kind of like leans in conspiratorially with his fingers touching together. He says, he just kind of like wiggles his eyebrows as he says, "Cocoa, perhaps."
Like the sweet?
No. The dark stuff, no sweetness at all.
Oh. Interesting. Can I, perchance a whiff of this scent?
Oh, of course, sir.
Cocoa?
Please go ahead. And he picks up a very small bottle, and he kind of like wafts it towards you, just like with a stroke of his hand. And what hits your nose is some kind of combination of like a coffee mixture mixed with like whiskey.
I see. Interesting. So Zazet right now, he's attempting to emulate some of the scents that he had from his time at court with Lord Neverember.
Okay.
He doesn't know the exact sense.
Okay.
That he's trying to find.
Got it. In that case, make a survival check.
I love it. Survival. Interesting. Oh, Lord.
Not good. Now that you're thinking about it, that coffee whiskey mixture smells kind of familiar. Or you could just pick another one at random.
So Zazo will kind of look over the bottles in front of him and he's like, "Can I just open a few of them and see what my palate picks up?" That's the right word, yes, palate.
Of course. You just point out a bottle that looks interesting, and I'll allow you to sample. As he smiles.
This is wine. Out of character.
No,
Sorry, I like so.
It's perfume.
Oh, perfume.
Yeah.
So he'll like pick one at random and he's like, open the lid, give it a sniff.
There's all kinds of various scents. Some of them are floral, some are like tropical fruit. You don't really
not this one. This one is awful.
You don't really
No, I don't
find one that like matches your memory at all, and any of the ones that you sampled.
Well, hang on a moment. This second one I picked up. What is this one?
The vanilla and cinnamon? Really, sir?
It has an alluring scent.
The man nods and just does like a satisfied kind of look on his face. He goes, very well.
It's very mysterious and it's very distinguished scent.
That it does.
Marquise, what do you think? Sniff this and tell me how much you like it.
Do you smell it, Marquise?
Yeah, I do.
What
you like it, right?
What comes through is probably the most pleasant mix of vanilla and cinnamon that you've ever smelled in your life. It kind of reminds you of like freshly baked pastries in the bakeries of Waterdeep.
So is there maybe like because it kind of sounds like, is it like maybe an acid of like burnt oak? Because I feel like vanilla and cinnamon usually has like a burnt oak with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a bit of woody
Oh,
undernote to it as well. Yeah.
Marquise fucking loves this one.
It's
Marquise is
good,
like,
right? It's excellent.
oh man, that the
However,
I'm not
Marquise,
usually into
it's
the
worth
sweet
pointing out, my good
scents.
friend. Listen, we both can't wear the same scent. I will be using this one. You need to get your own.
But
You
burnt
cannot
oak
smell
is
like
my
me.
favorite. Ah,
Listen.
gosh darn.
First come, first serve. Okay.
Mm.
You, good man. I would
Sir.
like 4 bottles of this. What is your
Unfortunately,
price?
sir, that is the only vial I have. And he brings out a new one that's unopened. And the
Well, I
sample
will
one
take
of
the sampler and this one.
very
take both.
very well, my lord. That'll be a total of 25 gold.
I will hand him 28 gold.
Why, monsieur, that's quite generous. Thank you. And you can
That extra
see
tip is to make sure my man Marquise finds the scent that he wants.
I
You
will
will help him.
do the utmost to take care of him, sir. And you can see that the old woman in the rocking chair just kind of smirks and gives you a very like approving nod in your direction, Zazit.
You have
Mm.
do you have any citrusy scents? My father used his cologne. He used to have like this nice orange zest in it.
He
I
like
don't know.
takes a look at you and he says, was your father a sailing man by chance?"
No, no. He was. I mean, we were by the coast, I suppose. Oh, Marquise kind of looks up, thinks back at like the ships that he wasn't allowed to like. He wasn't allowed to be like
Investigate.
near the. Yeah, he wasn't allowed to be near the docks, and then he just like his face immediately droops. It's like, oh, that's what the ships were for. Oh
What?
my. Mar-
Well, and he interrupts your thoughts, not knowing he's doing so with a interjection. He says, "Well, I do have this rum and pineapple mixture."
Ooh.
Uh,
No, I
and
I
he
just realized I need a new scent. I need one
Yes,
different.
step out from behind your father. Yes, that is
Yes,
a very good decision. I agree.
No,
with you.
I just
other end of the
I
spectrum. Then
just realized something. Yes, give me
might I
maybe if
recommend the coffee, chocolate, and whiskey, and he wafts it towards you the same way he did Zazit. And it's this very deep, dark mixture that's like as far away from the sea as you can possibly think of.
mm, yeah, I mean I just don't think Marquise would like this smell. Okay, what? One
It does.
more.
It does have like
Let's meet in the middle.
it does have like a bit of a char kind of smell to it as
Oh, does
well.
that have a bit of okay? Marquise would like it.
Yeah.
I
It's got like
I
a
don't
bit
know
of a
if you guys
smoky char in it as well.
kind of get what I'm going for.
Yeah,
with the
exactly.
smoky
Yeah, I
scent,
picked it up.
but yeah. Okay, Marquise likes it then if there's a
Okay.
little.
Very well, my lord. That one is quite popular, so we tend to make it in larger batches. So that one's only 5 gold.
All right. Oh, for huh. 5. Yeah, I would bargain, but I do like the scent, so yeah, I could do 5.
Very well, Messer. Thank you very much for your business. Is there any other shopping you need to do, or is there anything that we can perhaps point out for you? As he looks very excited to have made large sales today so far.
I don't think so. Actually, there is one vendor I'm looking for.
Oh,
Yes. I would like some sort of bookseller, preferably someone that deals with knowledge, general knowledge that most people don't know about.
Unfortunately,
Unique
my
general
lord, there
knowledge.
isn't very much in the way of booksellers or an established a printer or anyone like that here in Scornabel. Unfortunately, you may have to travel as far as Candlekeep or even Baldur's Gate would be the closest. But perhaps you might get lucky and find a bookseller amongst our traveling ranks. And he kind of points to the row of like carts and stuff lined up, entering and exiting Scornabel.
I tell you what, there's 3 gold pieces in it for you right now if you go find someone selling a book of that description for me.
Unfortunately, my lord, I must politely decline. Unfortunately, I cannot leave my poor dear old mother alone here at the cart.
Very well. Thank you for your service.
He bows very
Um,
deeply and says, I appreciate your understanding and grace.
What's your I know this is a little further away from your expertise, but if there's any weapon seller in town that could really do well, that would have any good pole arms, could you point me towards him?
He thinks for a moment and he says, well, there was a cart I saw closer towards the tavern. And he points back the way you came initially. There was someone selling some rather large weapons of some kind. I'm not a warrior. Never really held anything pointy in my life except for maybe a kitchen knife. But perhaps you could find something down that way.
Well, I appreciate it, sir. Yeah, I know that that's not quite your expertise. I just figured you live here and stuff, so I just figured you could point me in a direction. All right, thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you again, Mrs. Have a wonderful day. And he kind of goes back to his mother and shows like gold he just made.
I will apply some perfume to myself and be like, that was excellent. I smell
Says-
great.
I feel like does it not? Does it? Marquise kind of like pats his like wrist together and then pats it on his neck. He's like, with
Don't
the
use too much.
scales, how do they? I feel like it wouldn't stay on for as long because the scales aren't like, doesn't really let it absorb. Do you get a
Well,
little bit on your clothes, or how do you let it stick?
Well, this is the same way that blood sticks to me. After a while, it forms like a layer, and the scent stays with you. But yes, it also helps to put it on the clothing,
Okay.
mostly around the base of your neck, on your wrists. Basically, any time that a woman might touch you, that's where you need to put the perfume.
All right.
If I walk into a room and they can smell me, I've used too much.
No, I know about the clone. I was just saying with the scales is if I don't know. I feel like it might not stick as much just because it's not, it's not skin that is going on.
Well, if you weren't so busy pushing away your scales, perhaps they would be more amicable to what you need them to be.
Hey, I've done an okay job, I'd say. Yeah, I've even used that frickin' pocket mirror. So.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Oh, jeez, were you?
Just to remind
my
you,
gosh.
Henley, he's talking about the pocket mirror that will hide his scales if he wishes it.
Ah, well. It's fine. Shall we go look for this sword of yours?
Spear, yes.
Spear.
I'll say it's rather easy to find the cart that the scent seller was describing. If you're looking for a spear, it'll cost Let's see. I think. What is the price of a spear? Hold on a second.
Well,
Yeah, it'll cost you 1 gold to buy a spear.
I'd I'd want to talk to the merchant though, because I'd be like, hello, sir. As you can see, I use the pole arm. As he points to it on his back. My mentality with these are, you always go for. You always must look for better. So, do you have any inkling of some particularly nice pole arms? Not to say that yours are shabby by any means. Or do you personally have anything? Maybe a secret stock?
Well, you see, sir, and there's this like scrawny man who's kind of got like a hunch as he's looking over his weapons with his hands together, just kind of ringing in them as he talks. Unfortunately, I don't have any masterwork weapons, you see, but I do have some rather interesting and well-made pieces. And he gestures to like a rack of weapons that have been set up on display.
All right. Well, thank you, sir. You haven't heard of any particularly nice pole arms in the village or anything?
Oh, not here
This
in
is the best he
Scornabels,
gets.
sir. This is the equivalent of a backwater bump in the road. No. This is no Baldur's Gate. This is no no Waters Deep.
You never know where beauty may show itself. And yeah, I guess Marcus will get a spear and a shield.
Okay. You can easily buy both of those for a total of 3 gold.
All right. And I have no interest for I have no need for this glaive anymore. I know you'll have, if I were to sell it to you, you'd buy it at a very low price, but
Well,
how much
actually,
gold do you
he will just trade the glaive for the spear. So the spear won't cost you
Oh.
anything. It'll just be the cost of the shield, which would be 2 gold.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
he'll
yeah,
do
'cause a
that for you.
glaive is kind of better than a spear. Yeah. All right.
Let me just get that stuff over to you. Okay. So while I'm doing that,
Gold.
while I get you the items that you need, you two begin to head back to the tavern, the Bee and the Barb. While you two are getting back there, however, the 3 of you, Dravna, Naomi, and Keo, have had some time to talk if you would like to, if you want to talk without the other 2 present.
Sure.
Here we just smile to Dravna, wave him over, and say, "Hey, Dravna, how are you doing? We're just talking about you, actually, funnily enough."
Dravna actually had
no.
he had a comfortable look at first, very pleasant. Like he had no stress whatsoever. And then suddenly as he overhears that you two were talking about him, that groan on his face reappears. What was it about?
Naomi's expression is Naomi's expression is the standard smirking fox type character. She just kind of looks at you. You can't tell if she's happy to see you or if there's something else going on, but she just goes, "It was a lovely conversation, Dravna. You should have been there. It just loses impact if you weren't there."
Well, he'll give a false smile, slitting his eyes. How about you enlighten me what you talked about? It's just us 3. We're all good friends.
Nothing too bad. And Kia extends her hand. Jamie jumps on her arm back, then goes to her shoulder. We're just playing a little game, is all. But I promise, my dear friend Naomi, that I wouldn't say what exactly were her options. But the game we're playing is one called Fuck You, Marry Kill. Have you ever heard of it?
The smile drops. The whole performance that he was going on, being cocky, it just drops. That. He actually stutters. He's like, "No, I haven't." Are you two just gossiping here?
Is that gossip?
It's
Just
not gossip.
just plain fun. Like just talking about those type of things. It's nice. Takes away the birds of the hat a little. But it's
Yeah,
okay, don't worry. I'm not going to force you to play, nor am I going to review what my friend Naomi said. Did you manage to buy everything?
he like pinches his nose, closing his eyes, takes a breath to sigh. Yes, Jamie was actually quite helpful in helping me gather the materials that I need.
You were? Oh, that's a good buy. I need to make sure to grab you some extra daisy seeds later then, Jamie. He's the best,
Listen,
isn't he?
I'm not going to entrench you with whatever game you were playing, but if we could be serious for a moment, there is
Yeah,
something I actually need to get off my chest to
of
tell you,
course. Talk
Kilo.
away. What's the matter?
Drowna has a very solemn look, and he breathes in, goes to be looking very stoic. Do you remember a few days ago at the cave with the cultists? There was something you said to me back then.
I said many things over to you during that. Some a bit harsh, I admit. Some that I think are nice. Which exactly one we're talking about.
There's one thing I want to focus in on. You said you wanted to get to know me more, but I would be allowed to hit you. Do you recall that? And he gives a small, cocky smile.
Oh, yes. Do you want to take on that favor now? It's on the table.
Oh, delightfully. And as he say that, he is already clenching his fist, and he's just gonna throw his fist at your nose, but freeze a split second away from your nose, just a few centimeters.
You see that Kyo, her eyes go a little wide, but instead of moving or trying to block or anything, she just closes her eyes and stands still while waiting for the impact. When it doesn't happen, she's like, she opens again. Um, is everything okay? You can't punch me. Like I said, I don't mean it. It's only fair.
He's gonna take his fist, hover it slowly over your shoulder, and just give you a light knock, as if like knocking on a door on your shoulder. That is completely idiotic, and never suggest that again. I would never hit an ally. And he'll fold his arms and just look away. But then he'll look back with like a half smile. That's a joke. You two can laugh now.
uh, Naomi, I laugh. Naomi doesn't laugh. Like her whole expression before was like eyes closed, little three mouth going on there, and then it goes completely stiff. And for whatever reason, you can tell that someone was just about to use some magic in here. However, Naomi is relatively swift enough and keen enough, so she just goes, lovely. Friendship is wonderful. He smiles.
Drobna will look at you, Naomi, and he'll just give another cocky grin, just being a little playful.
She breathes out a bit and she goes,
I'll be fully honest with you, Dravna. You do look better with a smile. You were right, Naomi. He is indeed pretty, I have to admit.
Oh.
His eye will twitch and fluster a little bit. Let's just wait for the others. And he turns around completely. He was going to say other stuff, but he's just completely caught off guard. He just shuts down.
Actually, there is one thing I do want to talk to you, in particular, Dravna.
He groans. What? You ruined the mood anyway.
There was a mood? Sorry, apologies.
No,
But
that was uncalled for. Continue.
Do me and Zazie get back?
Yes, you guys. I'll say after a few minutes of this back and forth, you do come back to the tavern, and you see the party just kind of very energetically conversing.
So,
What happened to the mood?
I don't know, apparently I ruined it, according to Dravna.
No, no, no. It was Marquise. I blame you.
What?
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 Dravna
She just
pipes-
crosses her arms and humps, and she says, "Your fault."
Dravna just pipes up. I said
Marquise
I,
just kind of looks left and right, and he's like, "Well, anyways, you guys like
Good.
my new cologne?"
no, Keo, he's trying to collect himself. I didn't mean what I said. You may continue, and he's trying to like collect himself.
I like the cologne.
I can
myself.
ask it later.
It's a
Actually,
smoky
I
scent.
do have
Kinda
a
holds
more.
wrist out.
It's fine, don't worry. I will bring it up when we're at camp later. But now that I have everyone back, is everyone ready? Did everyone get all the things you needed?
Yes.
I have to ask, how are we able to feel the smell from Marquise and Zazet from the new perfumes or not?
Well, I'm holding on my wrist, so
Because Zazet is a noble, he understands how to wear scents and stuff like that. And Marquise has also been previously instructed both by Zazet and also his upbringing. So it's actually very subtle. You kind of have to be within close proximity to even smell it on them.
Okay, in that
Yeah,
case,
it's. I would say that it's like it's definitely pleasant,
Yes,
but it's not like
it's not
like something
overpowering.
you would outwardly notice.
Yeah, it's definitely not
Mhm.
overpowering for sure.
Keo,
anyone come in to sniff my wrist, I'm still holding it out.
They don't have to get that close.
Alright.
I like look at Marquise and I was like, this was supposed to be between you and I.
Oh,
Did
Fuck.
the two of you
What?
walk through a field of flowers?
well, we smell so nice. Okay, well, sorry.
it's fine.
right.
Actually, I want to bring something that's really important, if that's okay for everyone. As I said, Elturel is very near. We should be able to reach it soon. I want to ask a favor while we are at Elturel, actually. I want for us to right away go immediately to meet my grandfather and Lionel, if that's all right for everyone. No splitting up for markets or anything before. Just go straight right ahead and grab the news, as well as the situation. Does everyone agree with it?
Yeah.
I'm a little confused. Why is it so important that we visit your relatives?
Oh, that's right, I forgot. My apologies. We are not just the only ones that are working against the Cult of the Dragon. As you know, there is Mr. Leonel that I'm going to bring to meet you, but alongside him, my grandfather is also giving aid to Mr. Leonel with his task. We are supposed to meet both Leonel and my grandpa there. They should be together. So going to
Then
see
that is
one,
fine.
we see both.
I'm perfectly fine with that. As long as we all meet in the destination that we all agreed on, that is fine.
Giving
I agree.
AIDS to Leosin? I didn't know they had that relationship.
My, is he here generally flustered and not sure how to reply? Anyway, um,
Dravna would give a good chuckle.
is everyone ready? I think we should hit the road. Correct.
I will say that you guys did get to Scornabel, where you have the option to find another inn and spend a little bit more money here because it's a little bit more expensive than Burdusk to find somewhere. Or you can camp outside, your choice. But it might be a good idea to spend the night here before venturing towards Elturel.
Is
Oh,
like sun setting at this point?
Yeah, I'll say it's getting close to be like 5 or 6 in the evening.
oh, it's darker than I thought. I didn't realize how much time had passed away. I guess it's probably best for us to spend the night. Do you
Yeah.
folks
well.
want to sleep here, or do you want to go on the road and at least get some movement before you have to camp out?
Well, I'd like to make haste so we can kind of sneak attack the dragon cult, but I don't think one night would really ruin our timing too bad. So,
Alright.
so we
Do
can
you want
sleep
votes
here.
for stay?
I
Gravener?
agree. I like
2
the
votes for
options.
stay?
I like the option staying here.
Zazet, Naomi, what are your votes? You have 2 votes to stay the night.
I would like to continue.
That's one to continue. Naomi, your choice.
Huffs out. This has happened twice today. I don't like this. She she just
Technically,
goes,
technically, it's a different couple of days actually. So it's
fair enough.
twice in the
Okay.
same session, maybe, but not in the same day.
She'll say, this has happened too often to me. I don't like this.
Fair.
To be entirely honest with you, I don't mind either way. Carrying on with what we're doing is important. Very important. And I would like to. But a warm bed is oh so tempting.
I mean, if you want to not vote, you can not vote. Though, if you don't vote, it's the vote to stay will win, though.
That's fine with me.
Alright then. Then, by majority, we will stay the night.
Okay.
How... I will try to see if I can get a room. Does anyone have problem with shared rooms, or anyone wants privacy or the like?
No, I don't mind.
If you don't mind not having a lot of privacy, you can easily just rent out a corner in a common room and which will be like 3 copper, and you'll just basically have a roof over your head. But that's pretty much it.
If I'm staying here, I will bathe. I will get a room.
I will see. Do you want? Are you opposed to sharing with anyone, Zazit, or do you want the room just for yourself?
Are you suggesting that someone wishes to watch me bathe?
Well,
Io, for a second, thinks to make a very teasing comment, but
I
she
mean-
holds herself back and shakes her head. Not that. I mean, in the sense of a room, even if there's only one bed, 2 people can share a room at the very least, maybe even 3. They don't have to share the bathroom, however.
I mean, we're not going to
You're
bed in
lacking
an hour.
in funds. Is that the problem here?
I got 3 copper. But
It's not a lack of funds. We have money. It's
I can
just that
spot you, Marquise.
it's a waste, no?
You talk about warm beds and you talk about pleasantries and all of this stuff, but you wish to share it with another person?
Yes, it's a
It
waste
is a little
otherwise,
strange.
no?
I mean, if you like them enough.
I think she means each person gets their own bed. Sounds it.
Oh,
Yes.
that is fine. If there is an individual bed per person, I do not need to have an entire room to myself, but I would prefer, vastly prefer, to not bunk.
Alright then,
with
let
another
me go
being.
see them. And Kia moves to see what's the price of the rooms, Jim. How would you say
I
it
have
would
a
be?
tail, after all. It is very large, and it can encumber another human or another person in a bed.
There are some hostile situations in Scornabel that are specifically like flop houses. Those have individual
No.
beds.
Mm-mm. Higher.
If you're looking for like maybe 1 or 2 beds to a room, that's going to be a bit more expensive. And that's
It
going
is
Here's
to
surely
the
not
idea
that
is
much
that-
more expensive.
Kia idea is that one person has a bed and the others just sleep on the bed row in the floor.
if you would like if you would like a room with at least one bed that's kind of closed off to itself, that's going to cost 5 silver a night. I'm sorry, 1 silver a night. 1 silver a night. Sorry.
Kyo
Fine.
calculates it on her head. We should have enough money for that. I say we get 2 rooms of that, and we'd go with this. Unless Zazit wants a solo room, then we get 3 rooms of that. Everyone okay with it?
Yeah.
Zazit, your choice. Do you want to have a solo room, or do you want to have one and someone sleeps on the floor in the bedroom?
Someone can sleep on the floor. That is no
Alright then.
problem.
So 2 rooms total. 1 with 3 people and 1 with 2.
Okay.
At the mention,
Shame. I would have enjoyed a sleepover with the boys, but I guess we can do camping for that.
at the mention of a tail, Marquisa, like, his face will drop, and he'll, like, throw his head kind of over his shoulder and, like, try to look down, and he'll, like, check for it. Check himself for a tail.
Naomi immediately approaches and just says,
He's like a
"Tails are
weird
lovely,
little.
Marquise."
He's like
You
a
should
weird
enjoy
little
it.
nub on his, like, where his tailbone is, and he's like really grossed out by it.
I mean, that this is not too strange. I understand that.
Drabna will also approach, patting him on the back, saying, "Don't worry about Case, I'll keep an eye out for you."
With that out of the way, there is a selfish thing I would like to ask all of you, or at least one of you.
Selfishness from Kia, very rare. Makes a note in a little notepad.
We are going to enter combat soon against the Dragon Coats once more, and I want to get myself sharp for them. Does anyone want to spar?
Yes, we never sparred. We never sparred.
You know what?
Alright.
I could blow off some steam, and Drabna's already cracking his knuckles.
Alright then. Anyone else? We can do team spars.
Naomi like fans herself and she says, "I am simply far too skilled for any of you." And she just like sits down with a leg crossed over the other leg. Obviously, she's posturing clearly.
Well, I'm
Automatic.
You
eye
will
roll.
enjoy beating each other up. I am going to spend this time refreshing myself while the room is vacant.
So
Because
this
apparently
is
I'm sharing the room with another person.
so this is actually a pretty good
Wise.
time to introduce a mini game that I have kind of set up already. If you look in there should be like a little playing card icon in the top right.
Yeah?
If you click on card stacks, you should be able to see decks of cards called Pugilism.
I can't actually.
Oh, you
I
can't?
don't.
Nope.
It may be
Yeah.
hidden from us for now.
Yes.
I see. Okay, hold on just a second.
But I don't see.
It's fine. Hold on.
Well, if you can
Or as the
ask,
Polish
I would
like
look
to
at
say.
the others and say, Dravenarch Marquis. Alright then, despite between the 3 of us, it should be everyone for themselves. The rules are simple.
Never healed after
No
that.
magic, first of all. No killing blows. I think that doesn't have to be said, but probably good to re-say it again. And I want us to have a bet for the losers. But you folks
Now-
want to know the bet over.
And Naomi like shrugs. She says, "Magic is half of my bread and butter. It's the butter." See, I can't even participate in this.
What's
You
wrong,
can
Naomi?
find us.
Can't survive without your skills.
Don't try it. Don't try it, Dravna. You don't want these claws.
I'm trying it. He nods at you. Another
I'm trying
smirk.
it.
I have an idea. The losers all have to do the bidding of the winner for a day.
Okay, can y'all see the decks now?
Yes, you can.
Yes, Pugilism 5.
Yeah, each of you has your own deck. If you click on it, you will be able to drag one of these cards onto the canvas.
I think I have to click deal first.
No, you just have to open the deck, and you should just be able to drag and drop it.
It says I
I
don't have
can't-
permission.
Really?
Yeah, I can drag it. If I click deal, oh no, wait. Okay, I have an idea.
Did we rest this session at some point?
Yes, you guys technically would have had a long rest over a couple of days. So yeah.
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 I just
I
forgot to get
can't
my.
upload files. Apparently, is the word. And I need to create a hand or pile to do cards on first.
Well, you should just
It's
be able to
insanity.
drag it directly from, like, if you
I
Like,
can't.
if you open the
last
deck,
time.
here, let me share my screen with you guys so you know what I'm talking about.
Here, let me show you. Hang on, let me show you here too. What's saying? Not sure if the art is the same, but here, look at my screen.
Okay. Sorry,
I
folks.
click on hard tab.
Just gotta iron this out. I'm
See?
looking. Okay, so it's not even letting you. What is it saying? You do not have permission to
Do
upload
not have permission to
files.
upload files. If I click
Yes.
deal, you must create a hand. Shuffle, let me shuffle.
Yeah.
Reset. Let's try it. Save.
Okay. In that case, okay, I understand what happened. I understand what I need to do. Okay, so anyway, there will be a mini game that will use these cards anyway. But I'll set that up properly next time. Sorry, I forgot about that little thing. Anyway, if you guys want to spar, we'll do it the old fashioned way and just have you guys make just rolls against each other. We'll treat this as like arm wrestling. So you guys just roll attacks and then we'll do best like 2 out of 3 or something like that. If you want to do that
That's
instead.
Dravna
just
wants to say one thing. 4th rule: no crying, especially when I win. Let's go.
Actually, before we go, I do have to ask one thing, just to be sure.
Be no one's
Saren,
slave.
is Naomi going to participate or not?
Oh, fuck.
That's the question. If Naomi participates, we can make like a small tournament base. If Naomi doesn't, we make it a free for all.
Yeah, she'll participate. She won't be pestered by Dravna's provocations, but she will be annoyed at the fact that she just has to sit and watch everyone beat up each other, and she's just kind of bored, and there's no Zaza involved, which she definitely wants to see him get beaten up.
All right,
At least a little bit.
everybody roll a d20, please.
All right.
And we'll determine the seeds here.
17.
7.
Also, just to be sure, everyone agreed to the bet or no?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Keo and Marquise are the first seed, and I don't know why it still says Elphaset, but Saren and Dravna are the second seed. Both of you make rolls against each other now.
All right. Initiative first.
No, just make rolls against each other.
Just D20s, no modifiers.
I can change the name, but I can't change the change the picture.
Keo stands
sure
in
it'll
front
be
of
all right.
Marquise. He looks at him and says, "Hey, rematch from the Tower of the Keep this time. No weapons again.
No weapons.
Then let's go."
Marquise, you can't roll. You can't roll good anything. You got to
I mean-
roll good here. It's for the pride of me, Marquise.
Last time we did this, Marquise and Keo just missed every single time.
True.
Hey, maybe Marquise did good. Oh no, it's again.
You guys both rolled 6. I think you guys both rolled 6, right? Oh my
the
God.
first round of blows between Keo and Marquise happens, and there is a slight advantage in Keo's favor. Roll again.
Another one. Go.
Keo takes to doing some rabbit punches and puts Marquise on his back foot.
Marquise!
No!
Oh, no!
She continues to press her advantage, and eventually she wraps a leg around Marquise's and trips him and does like the karate thing where she like puts a fist in front of his face. Marquise is defeated.
Marquise was spent like the whole time thinking about if his dick is going to try to change to dragon dick, and he just could not lock in. Like the whole
That-
enemy talk just made me think like, oh, do Dragonborns have different? So yeah, that Marquise. Marquise
2
is lying
words
somewhat.
starts with a B. Second starts with a D.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
I like to imagine Kia was very focused and she was like proud of herself to having won the rematch. And she smiles to Marky says, "Hey, now we're 1-for-1. Next time, we decide this properly. A good match. Naomi, Dravna, your turn."
Fine.
All right,
I'll
you
just whoop his
guys.
ass and then move on.
No hard feelings. Dravna will give a small smirk as he raises his fist up to his face and wink with his
Also,
eye.
just a reminder, me and Marquise, we didn't use weapons because we didn't want to. You can use those if you want, if you prefer. Feel free to choose whatever style you go, as long as you don't seriously harm your opponent.
All right, semifinals. Let's go.
How do you want to do this, Dravna?
This. He-
Oh,
Fists, okay.
fists. She looks at her
agreed,
hands
no
and they're
match,
like they're you see her, she like does the kind of the broken wrist thing, she like looks down at her hands. Oh, I don't have very useful fists. And then you see her just like she claws out her hands and she just goes, "Let's go."
I was gonna say, you never said you couldn't kick.
That's also true too.
Make attack rolls against each other. Let's see.
All right, let's just. I mean, I guess I'll just do that, and then
So it's just midi attack?
Yeah,
should be, yeah.
yeah, just yeah, perfect. And then do the rolls. It should be in the chat. Ooh, 19.
20.
Oh god!
Yo.
Oh. Oh man, but unfortunately, Dravna still beats you even with a crit.
Son of a.
That strength score, man.
Yeah. Naomi
Drav
doesn't have a strength score.
Naomi, you punch Dravna directly in the chest, and you kind of smirk because you feel like I got his ass. And then you just see Dravna just kind of look down at you with his own smirk, and he just like decks you straight in the stomach and creates space between you. Roll again.
Oh. Hunt.
Just imagine this is the battlefield. Don't give up. Like,
Oh.
quick.
Ow.
Pretty good showing.
Oh.
11. And what did you get for your second roll, Naomi?
Oh, or second?
17. 17,
Should-
okay.
17, yeah.
This time, Naomi comes back with her Dragon Claw stance and does a couple of wild swipes, surprising you, Dravna. And then she plants a solid kick right into your sternum with her clogs. Roll again to see who caps it off.
Good
That's what I like to
match.
see. And he's gonna rush in with everything.
Let's go. Swing. Single digit. Double digit, okay. Ooh, that beats her. Yeah.
Oh.
21.
I don't know where the result is, though.
It's
Am I
about,
He
it's
has
using
about
like a
16.
It is above, right?
13.
Yeah, she
Okay,
doesn't
so
have
13.
the strength for a contest like this. If we were using the charisma stats, she'd be winning here.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, you folks chose the weapon.
he said fists, and she just agreed.
You
He knows your weapons are magical. He doesn't want any magic involved.
Dravna, you set up an elaborate trap for Naomi, thinking that she will appreciate the outcome after you pull it off. You very, very slyly take a hit to one of your arms, then your other arm, and then you wait for the forward kick that you know that's coming, and you sidestep that, and then very quickly just give her a backhand that sends her sprawling to the ground. And you win the match.
Dravna will actually
Okay.
extend out a hand. to,
Okay,
like,
fine. Well done, Dravna. Well done. This
He's
is
a
my
genuine-
second duel lost.
He gives a genuine smile. It was a good one. I appreciated it.
It was. She smiles back. dusts herself off and fixes her kimono back up. Memories of previous encounters suddenly flash through your mind as she fixes her outfit back up. Cough.
And now,
And then she just settles herself down.
the battle we've all been waiting for.
Ding, ding, ding.
Kyo versus Dravna.
Before the fight starts, Kyo gives my Dravna. Well, I guess you will have your chance to hit me in the face, won't you?
Yes, I may have fainted earlier, but not this time.
Well, let's see if you can do it.
Round 1. Begin.
Oh, give me a second.
Ooh, 13. Okay. That was almost a 1 on my screen. I was like, oof.
It's really bad. Someone's on my
Oh.
Dravna, you start off with your arms crossed and like the Tekken Gen emote, and you wait for Kyo's strike to come, and it sure does. And you manage to very flexibly move out of the way and basically plant a kick in her back. She is faced away from you. Roll again.
All right.
I like the music choice here. 19.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Oh,
You never know.
no crit.
So
no crit against
close.
it this time. Oh.
Okay, this time Kyo, sensing that you're playing a bit more passively than before, Kyo starts to come at you with some seemingly wild blows, as if she was chopping at you with her axe, but this time with just the sides of her hands. And you catch one of her arms, but she's ready for you, and she immediately follows up with a low punch to your gut. Final rolls.
Here
Let's
it
hand this
is.
out.
No holding back.
No holding back.
Oh,
Ooh.
another one.
Another.
Oh, no.
There it is.
19.
There it is. 2 19s, dude.
Kyo, how do you win this miniature tournament?
Kyo, she looks at Ravna. She thinks a bit how she has saw him fight. And then makes a decision that there is only one thing she can do. She approaches him full of her intent to give a punch, and as soon as she's about to punch, she ducks and goes for a sweep with her leg to make him fall on the ground.
You do this.
And as he fall on the ground, she puts her fist on in front of his face. I win.
You see, you watch the three of you, Azazet, if you're watching this at all, you see the leg sweep go down, and then you crack your head against the back of against the ground, Dravna, and then you just see this heel of Kyo's boot just kind of like inches from your nose.
He'll glare at you, and he hasn't smiled this entire time. He was smiling at Naomi, but for you, it's just intent seriousness. He'll take out his hand and slowly push your boot away and give you a genuine smile.
If I
Not
try,
bad. Not bad at all.
I have to say, not bad yourself either. Now here, she extends her hand. Come on, let me get you up.
He'll grunt, but he'll grab it and pull it himself up. He doesn't want to be a hypocrite. He offered Naomi a hand.
I would have won if I were in my element.
Of
Everyone
course.
else is actually in their element here. It's not fair.
I mean, I'll be fully honest. If it was the finals between me and you, I would have lost.
Would you even have fought?
No.
See? Bullshit.
Oh,
Bullshit.
don't get me wrong. If I had my sword, you'd all be dead, and I'd be laughing.
Oh,
God.
Really?
Yeah, all right.
This
Alright,
is-
alright.
Come on.
He
Oh.
cracks one more.
I'm the
smirk.
best
All
with
right.
the weapon here. I'm the
No
best
more
with the
jokes.
weapon here. It's all I've trained.
Like she
You
shoves
guys
Marquis.
could
Shut
use-
up.
Okay,
Your silly little
Vegeta, calm down.
magic. Your silly little magic. The weapon
Yeah,
man
bro.
is right here.
Don't think I missed that DBZA line.
Yeah. I respect those guys.
Same.
Okay.
Okay,
Kyo rolls her eyes and shakes her head. Well, that was fun. And now this means that tomorrow all of you have to do my bidding. So prepare yourselves. I have a
We do your
very evil thing to
bidding.
do.
Like waves you off, Q.
Kyo
Emphasize.
Kyo immediately begins using her power as a what the fuck is the word I'm looking for right now? As dictator of these three, and sends them to bed without dessert. And you wake up the next day fully refreshed. Some of you more bathed and refreshed than others.
Wait, before we continue,
Yeah.
Yes.
who would be the person sleeping in the room with Zazit?
Good question.
Well,
I
I,
just wanna
is a
get
good
I
that-
assume
question.
me.
I just want to get that all the way. He would refuse. Like, he would make that very public. He doesn't care.
Outright refuse.
He would
Like,
outright
no,
refuse.
no.
I mean, unless Naomi wanted to get in there, then I assume.
Don't tempt me. The role player in me. You don't want this? Why? Well, I guess you do. You wouldn't have suggested it then.
You
mean,
figure out your
Tia
sleeping.
doesn't mind.
And I
It's
actually have to
illegal.
ask him about how dragonborn genitalia differs from
Okay.
human.
Okay.
So-
That
Sorry, I didn't mean to
sounds-
distract. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Drobna would refuse. To
We're
I have a
proceed.
proposal.
we're gonna
Sorry, you-
skip over that conversation of
yeah.
discussing dragonborn genitalia. We're gonna skip over that, and we're just gonna continue on.
This means a lot to Marquise, guys.
You can have that
This is
conversation
like-
off stream, but for
No,
now we're
no,
gonna
no,
skip
it's-
over it.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it actually needs to be. There doesn't need to be an answer. There doesn't need to be an answer.
Okay. Oh, I see what you're
can
saying.
do-
Yes, that conversation definitely occurs if Henley agrees to it.
Mate, you know what I do for a living. It's fine.
So yes, that conversation definitely happens.
I mean, it's not even like that inappropriate. It's just, is my dick gonna fucking transform? Like, it's
Enough. Let's move on, please.
all right.
Uh,
Anyway,
As
sun rises.
as you wake up the next day, you all feel fully refreshed, and you begin to hit the road. You take a sharp left and start to head west towards Elturel, following the Chayanthar River. The road passes close enough to the river that is a constant companion. You can hear the musical notes of its banks as you travel over the very easy slopes of the hills that lead to like this very like easy valley. And you do come up to, after a couple more days of travel, this is the let's see, 1 2 3. Thank you for reminding me to move the token.
Sure.
So this would be the 5th day of travel after leaving. This would have been the 7th day, but you guys cut a couple days out by traveling across the green fields. So yeah, this is the 5th day of travel. Good job. And you see a very eye-catching sight as you come into eyeshot of Elturel. You crest over a hill, and you can see a very short cityscape. But over this city, you see a crystal hovering overhead and glowing like a miniature sun as it kind of rotates in the air. And you can see that the light doesn't seem to be harsh. It doesn't strain your eyes to look in its direction, although if you stare at it too long, you're obviously going to hurt yourself. But it doesn't seem harsh or overbearing. It seems to be a comfort. And you all cannot help but give a sigh of relief just seeing it as you approach Elturel. You enter into the gates without too much issue. You do see that there are armored soldiers watching people come and go. They do eye you very carefully for a short while, but allow you to enter without too much issue.
Naomi winks at one of them.
They don't even seem to notice, just kind of analyzing you in other ways. What would you like to do now that you're here in Elturel?
They're really doing their job well. Lovely. Good. We're probably safe here.
Well, we have to go. We have to We all agreed what we should do right away. So, without delay, let us find them. And Kia would try to guide her horse to. Where did Leosin tell us to meet him? Not well, by the way, exactly.
He really didn't. But he did mention that with he would be visiting a friend of his named Onthar Froom.
Wonderful.
Yes.
That's the problem. I wonder if that's someone that's known. Kia would approach one of the guards. Would there be guards stationed and such? I'm sure.
Yeah, there's some guards that are doing foot patrols and stuff like that. If you tried to approach the
Yep.
guards at the gate, they would not pay you any mind. They would just say, like, please, ma'am, go inside.
Yeah, she would try to approach one of the artists then. Excuse me. Excuse me, sorry to bother. Could you help me with one thing?
Uh, yes, ma'am. Is there something I can help you find? Is everything okay? And this soldier looks you up and down to make sure you're not injured or anything like that.
Oh no, we're fine. We're actually here to meet someone, but uh, we don't know exactly where they are, and we hoped you might. Yeah, what's the name again that Leosin mentioned? Apologies.
Onthar Froom.
Have you ever heard of someone named Antar Fruit?
The guard actually smiles and kind of chuckles and says, "Yes, that's not the first time we've heard that mispronunciation. I believe you're looking for Onthar Froom.
Oh, apologies.
That's quite all right.
Yes.
Yes, his headquarters, and he kind of puts that in air quotes. Is just down this way a couple of blocks, and then you'll hang a right. You can't miss it."
Perfect. Oh, also on the topic, would you, Jim, in the letter from the governor, did they ever specify the place to get the meat, or did they not specify at all?
It does actually. Strangely enough, it asks for a delivery to be ordered from a pair of black antlers.
Also, black antlers?
A pair of black antlers.
Okay. Would you also happen to know anyone that has black antlers?
Uh, no, there's not really any tieflings here in Elturel. There aren't any druids or any folk like that. Not that I'm aware of here.
It's all right. Thank you very much. And Q gives a smile before going back to the groups. I got the location where Leosin might be. Shall we head there? Follow me.
Does
And she
anyone
goes to.
does anyone have any other plans now that you're here in Elturel?
Well, we did say we'd do Kyo Sing first, but
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do my plans after.
All right. You venture further into Elturel. Sorry, hold on. Okay, sorry. I just saw the fucking GIF with the stuffed penis. Okay.
Oh my god.
I just saw that. And now I'm completely thrown off. Okay, Discord shenanigans, for anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about. You venture further into Elturel. You can still see the rotating glowing crystal over the top of this place. And you can't help but wonder if it's hard to get any sleep here with it basically being daytime 24/7. But you eventually do follow the directions, and you see staying in front of you is what looks to be like some kind of ale house. It's a 2-story structure, very tall ceiling. And you come to this door that is currently closed, but you can hear very clearly that there is lots of activity inside.
Everyone, as soon as you arrive there, everyone will be able to see Kyo stop in front of the door. They're closing her eyes, taking a deep breath. Anyone that looks a bit closer will be able to see her hands actually shaking. before she opens her eyes again. I let us go. Everything should be alright.
Just
Oh,
real.
and
I'm sorry, just real quick. I forgot to show this to you guys. This is what Elturel looks like. I gotta put y'all's tokens back on the
Nice.
thing.
Before they also enter, Kia would look at Zazet and give him a smile before saying, and before anything else as well, thank you, Zazet, for coming alongside us. Your company was great, and regardless of what's said afterwards, if you would, I'm sure everyone would be more than happy to have you continuing to hang around with us for our mission.
It
And
ultimately depends what my lord wants of me.
that's fair.
Perhaps the quest will be similar. We'll see.
You see. Now let us go. She finally opens the door to enter.
Okay. You enter into. This is the map of Elturel, by the way. I'm just gonna show the stream real quick. So this is Elturel. This map is not specifically for this module. The markers here are not very super relevant, but this is basically what it looks like. It's a riverside town. It's very well put together. It's not super well planned, obviously, but it is quite the busy place. Lots of stuff happens here in Elturel. So you guys entered in from the road to Triel, and then there's the road that goes to other parts of the Sword Coast, and then the river flows from east to west. So the outflow is this way, down here. Yeah, down this way. So this is Elturel. And now I have another map that I will need to also shuffle your tokens to. So please bear with me. You are standing here in front of these double doors, hearing these noises and stuff go on. And you hear a very loud, boisterous laugh coming from inside as the door swings open. I didn't have enough time to put all the tokens in, but you can go ahead and open the door if you would like to move in.
It's paused the game at the moment.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. As you enter in, you can see that there's lots of noise. You can see that there are people sitting and eating and shouting. Most of them are in some kind of armor, like Zazits. And you can see that all of them have some kind of iconography on them that looks like a gauntleted fist on their person, most of these men. And then you can see, seated over here, is a familiar face. You see Leosin sitting at this table, and sitting across from him on the other side is a dwarf with this massive shock of red facial hair that you can kind of see even though he's not looking directly at you, and with his very bushy red beard as well. And you can see leaning up against the table next to him is a pretty large battle axe and a shield right next to it, and the shield is emblazoned with that gauntleted fist that you saw earlier on the gentleman. What do you do?
Does the dwarf by any chance resemble? God, I forgot his name.
Escobar the
guy.
Red?
Yes.
No, not really.
Okay. Kyo looks at the others. There he is. Let us go. She hesitates but approaches the table. Leosin?
Escobar is also a dwarf.
Hello?
Ah, well, it seems you've all made it. Congratulations on your first trip as a group. How was the excursion?
We have lots to tell. It was mostly good, and we also made a new ally. This here is Azet. Then she takes a step to the right to let Azet come introduce himself.
Good evening, gentlemen. My name is Zazit. I am here on behalf of Lord Neverember.
The dwarf just kind of squints at you for a moment, kind of looks you up and down, and he's eating some chicken, and he's just kind of like not really. He's not very polite, but he just kind of like nods after looking at you for just like a second. He just nods and doesn't say anything, but just kind of nods in agreement and acceptance. And then Leosin kind of looks at you a bit longer and says, "Oh well, thanks so much for accompanying this group here. I hope they didn't give you too much trouble."
Well, I wouldn't say if they did otherwise. Do you have a moment to speak?
I do. Perhaps you could relate to me the subject.
Actually,
Dragon
we all
Cult.
have lots to speak about the Dragon Code, but before anything, if that's okay, Zazet, I just need to ask for peace of mind. Grandpa, is okay?
Of course, he's fine.
Alright, good.
Last that I heard,
Good.
anyway.
Don't.
Yeah, Dravna eyeballs him.
Yeah,
Okay.
Marquise, just don't do
Yeah,
that.
like Dravna shakes his
said-
head.
Naomi
says out
face
loud.
palms.
Theo gives him an icy glare. Alright, fine. Okay. Okay. Zazet, others, yes, please talk for a bit to him. I think if I try, I won't say very polite stuff at the moment. So please go ahead and take the lead on that front.
Do you mind if I sit down?
Please do. I think Onthar and I would appreciate to hear what you have to say. And that goes for the rest of you as well. And he points to the two of you and everybody else. Please sit. You must have quite a bit of road dust built up.
I actually bathed yesterday.
Quite a lot has changed since we last saw you.
I can see that. And he kind of looks at you, Marquise.
Yeah. All right, to
What do you mean?
business.
I'm similarly immaculate. What do you mean?
Of course you are. Of course you are. He just kind of, nods at you. Anyway, what would you like to tell us about the Dragon Cult?
So that you can go first. We can bring our information later. Or do you prefer the opposite?
No, this is fine. We'll get this out of the way. As I said earlier, I'm here on behalf of Lord Neverember
As
of
you
Neverwinter.
as you begin to recant the events, we see that the camera pans up and away through the ceiling into the bright light of the crystal overhead. And then we shift slightly over to a shrouded corner, an alleyway that watches the entry into a pair of black antlers, this tavern at your end. And we see a pair of red glowing eyes. And that is where we're going to end the session for tonight.
All right.
Stellar showing today,
Hey,
boys. Very good.
Good one.
That's great.
Thank you guys so much for playing. This was a lot of fun. And thank you to everybody out there who's watching and is watching the VOD. Thank you too. We really hope to see you on the next one, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.